Welcome, listeners. You are here with your host. It's Mr. Budget Pedal Chap. This is another one in these interview things, and you're here with Mr. Anjay. Is it?
Anjay, that's the one.
Anjay, yes, pronounced it correct. Yeah, you.
not like Joe got the other day, Anju or something.
Yes, it's close, isn't it? I mean, it's not the first time and not the last time that I will absolutely butcher someone's name. So you are from the DaveRage Instagram channel?
That's me, yeah.
Yeah, I never knew how to pronounce it, if it was DaveRage or DaveRage.
No, it's definitely DaveRage. It's been DaveRage for a long time, as people can misread it. But then I realised if I capitalise the R, it looked more like DaveRage. It took me 10 years to figure that one out.
There you go. So DaveRage.
Just capitalise one letter.
You're from like a very similar kind of YouTube and Instagram kind of path as myself as well, aren't you?
We are officially rivals, yes.
Well, yeah, rivals, yeah. Yeah, so that's it. So, why does your channel suck?
Well, same reason yours does.
Boom.
Budget.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? So, yeah, I mean, we got together basically because we do a very similar shtick in the fact that we both have a kind of a soft spot for the cheaper end of the market, don't we?
Yep, absolutely. The affordable end of the market.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, we talk about this on the podcast quite a lot, and we were just having a little bit of a chat before this cast started as well. That like back in the day, cheap guitars used to mean cheap guitars.
Oh yeah,
and you'd get those
and pedals. God dear, some of the distortion pedals I had as a kid. God dearie me, sound like bees in a tin can.
Exactly. Yeah, some people are chasing that tone these days, aren't they? With the
the DOD grunge has made a comeback. I noticed the other day. Old Fluff was showing one of those off the other day.
Yeah. I remember hearing one of those way back when and thinking, man, that sounds meaty, and then listening to it a couple of years and going, oh, my ears lied to me. They lied.
You're playing it through like a 6-inch speaker on a 20 quid amp or something at the time, which didn't have a second channel, so you threw anything through it and it sounded better than the standard sound. So.
Well, that's it. Yeah, it sounds better than the what they would deem the drive channel, and was actually, it just sounded like the speaker was crapping out. But not
it makes me nostalgic for my old Watson amp, my first ever amp. Oh dear,
shit,
happy
man.
Days.
Yeah. I mean, my first ever one weren't a bad one actually. It was a Frontman 15R, I think it was, or either like a 10R or a 15. Yeah, the old Fenders. Yeah. The clean channel was amazing, and the drive channel, it was there.
It was there. Yeah. I think I went from, if I remember correctly, that blew up because I tried to put an extension cab on it, and I ended up getting a 100-watt Carlsberg all-valve second-hand amp that was, I mean, at least 100 watts at university. In the house we had at university, it was so loud that CD players would jump in rooms in other parts of the house. But that was my second amp, and I had to get rid of that when I moved house again, and ended up with a little old Marshall something, God knows, something cheap and cheerful that made sound.
Yeah, it's often a compromise, isn't it? It's often a compromise. So let's kind of get into this formally then. So, do you want to introduce your wares, your channels, and your and what you're here for essentially?
So, as we know now, I'm Anjay. I am on Instagram and Twitter is my other little home of choice as DaveRage. I'm also available on the internet as yet another review site, which you'll also find my YouTube channel attached to. And I am currently enjoying reviewing guitars and amps, little amps, cheap budget battery powered amps and pedals and the like. And I'm here because we have kind of, as you say, we got together over the love of cheap, affordable, and weirdly boutique custom made pedals.
Yeah.
And thought
nothing in between.
One end of the spectrum to the other. Yeah, nothing in between.
That's it.
I have upgraded now to a Moon over Donna recently. But and also because we wanted to have a little chat about maybe doing something fun with our listeners.
Exactly, yeah. We were talking a little collab thing, which we'll get into some of the details a little bit later on. But definitely some exciting stuff. So you mentioned you've got the Instagram and the Twitter, and then the YouTube. And from what I get, the Instagram very much feeds into the YouTube channel, where you kind of get sneak peeks and some kind of behind the scenesy stuff on the Instagram, and then the YouTube is the full blown reviews.
I try and sort of try on YouTube at least every week, so reviews or tutorials or me ranting about things, and then Instagram's more of a daily just talking to people and getting ideas, like the one the other day of trying to find out what people want me to review next from Harley Benton or Toman. And the reason behind it is my Twitter account's actually much, much bigger, but it is based on my day job, which isn't guitars. So it's a kind of a hard thing to blend what I've spent the last 5 years building on Twitter into something converting over to guitar rather than video games and things. So it was kind of I thought I'd just leave Twitter for that and then head over to Instagram, because I found Instagram much more engaging with people. There's much less kind of faffing around and griefing, and it's just people who are interested in interesting things chatting and getting on with it. And then YouTube's just a really good way to get more than 1 minute of video out there. Yeah,
very much so. I mean, that's kind of what drew me to Instagram as well, was the kind of the ethos behind people who are on Instagram, and it's a really visual medium, and it's short and snappy as well. So you can send out those kind of daily little fixes.
Just stuff. 5 minutes of sat there playing on your guitar and just throw a 30-second clip up of a pedal you got that morning that you just plugged in for a few seconds with the iPhone camera giving you the lovely, or my Android camera giving you that really lovely crackly microphone that only Instagrammers can appreciate, just how much bass you lose from those.
Yeah, very much so. But then, conversely, the people who are watching it are watching on a phone mostly, where the bass response is going to be crap anyway. So it translates quite well, and it's nice and quick, and that kind of instant stuff. The feedback you get from Instagram, from the kind of community on Instagram is a much friendlier place than, say, for example, Facebook can be.
Oh yeah, so some of the groups on Facebook, oh dear, you just look at it going, if you've got nothing nice to say, just shut the hell up, because there's so much hate on there.
Yeah,
you go on there with a question, and people just sort of go on at you about, oh, you're really stupid, you should know this. And some kid who's been playing guitar for 12 minutes and's gone, I can't tune it, what do I do? And they're going, well, buy a tuner and do something. Oh no, just help the kid, don't just sort of diss him because he doesn't know. Whereas on Instagram, it's a lot easier, I think. And I think you can be more honest on Instagram, because on Twitter and things like that, you're anonymous. Whereas on Instagram, it's quite obvious it's you. If I'm sat, in my jeans playing the guitar, you can see it's me playing the guitar. It's not a recording.
Yeah.
Whereas I think on Twitter you can say, or on Facebook you can say whatever you want, and no one really challenges you with it. But if it's actually a video of you doing something, you can't be challenged on it. So
you're putting yourself out there, aren't you? But yeah, for the drawbacks of Instagram, YouTube kind of steps in as well, so you can get those longer, more in-depth videos. And I've followed a very similar path with that. So what's been going on your YouTube recently? You mentioned that you've got you had a poll up earlier this week, actually. And I actually I threw my hat into that one as well.
I can't remember which one you voted for now, actually. I think you voted for the red one, didn't you? The one with the P90s.
Yes, yeah, the kind of Jim Adkins style telly, thin line telly,
Yeah.
My friend had one. It was very, very nice.
Yeah, no, I was interested in that because so one of the guitars, the budget end of the guitars that I'm able to get a hold of occasionally, it's Thomann, the Harley Bentons.
Yeah.
I mean, you reviewed the Telecaster not long ago, and I will get one every now and again to review, and I thought, well, let's just see what people are interested in. So there are three that I have my eye on. So I was really interested because our friend Joe, Hello Sailor, just had his P90 and his Telecaster. I was really wanted a P90.
Yeah.
And they don't have many in stock. And I had sort of this Jazzmaster style one that I could get. Then there was that thin line telly, which is absolutely gorgeous. And then there's like this BB King style Lucille type guitar. And I like all three. I thought, I'll just ask what people want to see because it's them who's going to watch it. And and they all went for the Lucille. They went for the
they steered away from the P90s.
335.
Yeah,
I kind of started going, damn it.
Yeah.
But actually, at the same time, I'm a huge BB King fan, so I really wanted to try that as well. So that's kind of the next thing I'm trying to do is get hold of that and have a little play with it.
Yeah,
reviewing guitars is quite tough though because you have to spend a bit of time with them, and you're not allowed to do much to them. If you're borrowing it, you can't faff with it too much. You're allowed to. They usually say, you can do the truss rod and you can do the action and change strings, but that's it.
Tweak.
So things like polishing the frets that you. I mean, I don't know about the one you try, but Harley Bentons are the dirtiest guitars I've ever played. Your hands are black after the first 10 seconds. They can be beautiful when they're set up, but my God, they need a good scrub down when you get them.
Yeah, I mean that leads on to one of the videos that you did this week as well, about kind of where you feel the Harley Bentons sit within the market and who they're aimed at as well. And I thought that was a really interesting video.
Yeah, there's this sort of view that cheap means beginner, and I've got a student. I have one guitar student, and he's got a very cheap kind of 3/4 size guitar for a kid, and I know why he's got it. I know why his parents bought it for him, but it is the hardest guitar in the world to play because it's not set up, and it's. When it's, I'm going to take it back at some point and set it up properly, but it was affordable and they didn't want to spend too much money on a hobby that he might not get into. Yeah. But the problem is that you can see him getting so frustrated because he can't press the strings down because the action is sort of like 2 centimeters at one end. And I think this is the problem where you kind of go, Harley Bentons, they're really cheap, they're just for beginners, but they aren't because they're difficult to play if you get one that's not had real care and attention at the QA end. And I think this whole thing of, it's for people who actually just want to try different sounds out. So I do a lot of recording. I've got a Stratocaster from them because I wanted a Strat sound. Yeah. I've got a bass from them because I needed a bass. And it's kind of really good for that. Rather than spending 500 quid on a real Strat, I can get the sound of a Strat, but I have to set it up. So as a beginner, you just don't know how to do that. Even just changing action's hard. So they aren't really aimed at new guys. I personally think they're aimed at guys who have got a bit of experience, who've got some nice guitars and actually don't want to smash them up or don't want to spend more money on stuff just because they need a Strat sound or they need a Telecaster sound or whatever. I think it sits there and as a kind of almost a starting point for modification jobs.
Absolutely.
You get one of those. I've got a lovely Telecaster and I'm terrified to modify it because my wife got it for my 40th birthday. It sounds really good. If I mess with it, I'm going to kill it. Whereas a 70 quid version from Thomann, from Harley Benton, I don't mind getting a scratch or 7 on that and digging into the electrics a bit and messing around with it. Yeah,
it works as a good modding platform and a good way to kind of learn some of those things. If you were a guitarist who's been playing a couple of years but have been scared to adjust a truss rod because you hear these horror stories that you will break the neck,
twang,
or like don't want to adjust the action. If it's a £70 guitar, you're feeling slightly less apprehensive about But like you say as well, once they're set right as well, they're not bad instruments at all.
No, you can get. I mean, I said sand down the neck and do some tweaks on it, and I think they play really nicely. And the other thing with them is that I made a mistake when I reviewed my first Harley Benton was a Telecaster TE52, and I kind of made a mistake of saying I didn't think it was a gigging guitar. And I had a few people come back at me and say, actually, it's perfect for gigging because when you drop it on stage, you don't shed a tear.
Yeah.
Whereas when you drop your $2,000, I was watching X Factor the other night, and they got some kid playing. It's some guy who he's got this Gibson again ES335, whatever it is. And it's a £2,500 guitar, and he swings it around his back, the headstock smacking off the floor. I'm looking at him going, have some respect. Just have some respect for that guitar.
Yeah.
It's not yours. They've given it to you to look cool. Just have some respect for that thing, because that's a decent, lovely guitar, and you are just swinging it around like it costs nothing.
Yeah.
Because you didn't buy it.
Yeah, it's a fine line between like rock and roll and just cringiness, because I think we've gone past the point where smashing stuff up is now rock and roll.
Yeah. Now it's just disrespectful.
Yeah, very much so. So I mean, those are some of the really interesting things going on your channel that I've picked up on recently. Was there any other things that you've done recently on the channel that you want to give a little shout out to?
Oh, the thing that I'm doing at the moment that I've not done properly before is I'm releasing a bit of music. So I've been writing music for years and years and years. I mean, I wouldn't say they're well produced, but I just thought, just for the heck of it, I'll see if I can get it onto Spotify was the challenge. I always give myself weird little challenges. I thought, how do you get music on Spotify? And I found out just by chance that I think it's Warner have created this thing called Level, where anybody can go on, sign up for free, and they can, if it gets through the very, very vague filtering process they seem to have, they'll release it. So I've got 3 or 4 tracks up on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, and it's all done, and it's done for free. So for me, that's a really kind of interesting next step in music, I think, where people are able to get onto these bigger forums, because you've always been able to do it, but it always costs money, or there's subscriptions, or there are lots of hoops to go through. Whereas now, this seems to have leveled the playing field a bit, where it's one of those last bastions where you've not been able to release properly. Yeah. And now it seems that you can. So that's kind of my little thing at the minute, is trying to get stuff out there and see if I can get more than 3 people to listen to it. using YouTube as my kind of like push for that. And at the end of every video, that, hey, I have a Patreon, I have this, I have that, and all these sort of logos appearing on the screen now. Yeah,
it becomes a sea of logos and places to click, doesn't it? After a while,
and all you're trying to do is make sure that at some point you're making just enough money to buy maybe a slightly better thing to review next time. It's not even about. For me, it's I reviewed games for years and years and years, and I called it cost neutral, because if I got the games from the developers, or I got money through the website from advertising to buy the games. So it didn't cost the wife anything. It didn't, which was always good. But I wasn't making a profit either, and that kind of I felt okay about that, because it was part of the experience. It's enjoyable. Yeah, I'm just doing it. I'm doing it to get content out for people to look at. So it's the goal, isn't it? It's the kind of the thing that we all aspire to, is that it's not costing us money to do it. And guitars are not the cheapest thing to look at. I mean, games were fine, because they'll send you a CD with a game on it, or a DVD or whatever it was, and that's fine, because that cost them 50 pence. You say to a company, hi, I've got 200 YouTube videos, can I have a Fender please? And they're like, no. Yeah, not at all. No. Yeah. I know they're pleasant about it, but it's like, no, sorry. There's big YouTubers out there who would struggle to get companies like that to send them free stuff. So thing is, though, my view is you make the contacts now, so that you've got, like, I've got I now know who certain people are in certain companies, and I can ask them a question. So, I mean, one of the companies that I sort of vaguely dealt with was Chapman, and they are really interesting because they're quite open. They're you send them a message and you actually get a response quite quickly, rather than it just being kind of 8 weeks later you get a generic sorry, we're not interested. They were actually quite. Yeah, I mean, they're quite sort of, do a bit of this, do a bit of that, get in touch with us, see how things go. And that was a really refreshing approach, because a lot of people, it's just, no, you're just tiny. We got too many people on our books already. Yeah. Without setting any goals as to this is what you need to do to be able to speak to us. Yeah.
That's a really cool kind of coaching that they're giving you for it as well. To kind of, it helps you along to attain those next goals with your YouTube and your Instagram channels.
Yeah, absolutely. It just gives you that something to look towards. Yeah. So I said, it's you start off with your donnas, you move up to, as I've done, a moon, and then what comes next? What's the next sort of one up from a moon? Maybe Joyo or something like that. So you kind of it's that kind of steady progression of you have to start. You have to accept that you're never going to be day one. I think this is something a lot of YouTubers and people who are reviewing don't understand. Day one, you're not going to get Gibson sending you guitars. Yeah. That's you've got to show that you're willing to make some kind of time investment, that you're going to be reliable, that you're going to do what you say you're going to do. Yeah. The number of times I dealt with people in the games review industry who they just got free games, they didn't review anything, just got the games, and then eventually they got blacklisted and wondered why. It's like, because you didn't do anything with it. You've got to actually don't take the piss. Do what you say you're going to do. Be honest and kind of be trustworthy. Yeah,
it's like in jobs as well. If you do that. Like going into a job, saying I'll do this, that, and that in your interview, and then like a month in you haven't done any of that, you'll find yourself in the dole office before long.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's have a wind back to kind of how the whole guitar thing started for you. You mentioned that you were playing guitar when you were at university, but was it something that went even before that?
Yeah. Rewind 25 years. So I was, what was I, 15 or 16 when I started. I was not sporty, but I did sports. I was a rower when I was younger, and I got quite ill. I had something, I don't know, you might have heard of it, ME. Yeah. Which basically meant that I was completely knackered the entire time. I couldn't do sport. I could barely go to school. And I was quite depressed. And I was at a car boot sale with my mum, and I saw this little classical guitar, three-quarters size guitar for £6 at a car boot sale. And I said to her, look, I really want to learn guitar. I used to play piano when I was younger. I'm going to grab that. And I started playing on that. And she said, look, if you're really interested in playing, if you can learn a song on that and show that you'll do it, I will go halves on an electric guitar with you. So I learned Wild Thing.
Nice.
was my first song, three chords. So was it G, C, D or something, I think, Wild Thing. And a couple of months later, taught myself this, started learning it, went down to my mum one day and said, look, I've learnt a song, played it to her, and to her credit, next week we went to a local second-hand guitar shop and bought I'll never get this right, and it's not a Charvel, it's Charvette, which was something that Jackson Charvel were doing, this Charvette, and it was a reverse dinky super Strat.
Nice, yeah.
Beautiful guitar. Oh yeah, about £200, and I got an amp with it. And mum paid £100. I had to pay £100 off £10 a week for the next few months, and that was where it started. So that I started playing because I was too old to do sport, really. Yeah. And just never put it down. I've played up until I had my second daughter. I played pretty much a couple of hours every day. Yeah. And then kind of had to stop. We moved house and didn't have space for things, and guitars were not an important part of our decor at the time. And we had sort of my oldest daughter and the youngest daughter, so I stopped for a couple of years, and then 18 months ago I kind of dug it out and thought, no, I'm gonna play. And that's kind of what brought me to Yeah, and that's what brought me to the YouTube, because I wanted to challenge myself with something. And I thought, well, I've not played for a couple of years. I'm not a fast player. I wasn't bad when I was younger. I was pretty quick, but these days it's more into the bluesy stuff. And I thought, well, challenge myself to improve. Yeah. What do I need to do to improve? And I thought, well, if people are looking at me, then I don't want to suck. So I thought I'll do YouTube, and that's why I post so much. It's kind of that thing of, if I'm going to do it, I need to not be terrible. So it gives me that incentive to practice a bit. So, because I never really learned properly. I had a couple of lessons. I taught myself, played with friends. A couple of us used to play guitar at my mate's house, and every couple of weekends we'll drag our amps into his bedroom, 3 of us with guitars and a microphone, screaming into an old tape player.
Nice.
So it was great fun, but I didn't really learn very much. It was all Green Day and Nirvana and a bit of Metallica and a bit of Guns N' Roses, and then never really evolved past that.
It's all a learning experience, though. It all kind of adds to the cooking pot of experience that is your style.
Yeah, I think my biggest... It's funny, the biggest regret I have is not learning theory. Yeah. That sounds really odd. There's a big argument in guitar of if you learn theory, you're going to lose your soul and things like that. And got to the point where I was playing about 12 months ago, and I sort of picked it up again. I was really getting back into it. I just thought, I'm playing the same stuff I played 20 years ago. I've genuinely not evolved at all. At university, I played it because it was cool, and you played a bit of Oasis and everyone loved you at a party, and you could play it drunk as well. But you started trying to understand why things sounded right, and I thought, I don't know. I actually don't know. Yeah. It's like not knowing the alphabet and trying to write a book. It's this really odd kind of combination of I'll just throw letters at a page and see what happens, and not understand what happens if you put them together. So. I've been trying to sort of force theory into an aging brain, which is quite difficult. Yeah.
I always found that there was a kind of barrier for guitarists with theory, because there was lots of notes on manuscript written on paper explaining all the theoretical processes. That don't mean fuck all to me, mate, because I can play you a G chord, but couldn't tell you what it looks like on a sheet of paper. So I did that myself. I kind of forced myself to learn theory, and it's taken me down a kind of logical path with my guitar playing. I'd like to say it's made me a better player, but it's made me a different player. I know that's definitely for a fact. But it's that argument you can't. there's no real right or wrong answer to it, is there?
No, I think the guy. I can't remember which one it is. It might be Music Is Win.
Yeah.
Or it might be Ross Campbell. But one of them was saying, it's your vocabulary, and you don't need to use every word. But knowing all of them means that if you do need to use them, you can do. And I think it's like understanding simple things, like understanding where the relative minor and majors are on the fretboard when you're playing, and what makes them different. So for me, that was the revolutionary moment of playing some B.B. King stuff and realising that he was playing in major over a minor progression. Yeah. And then would seamlessly go into the minors. And that was because he had this one tiny little box that he used for almost everything. Yeah. But he just knew where to put it and how to phrase it. Yeah. And for me, that was this massive eye-opening moment of, I'd always done it, but didn't understand why it worked. Yeah. And then I was watching a video yesterday with, what is it? Anyway, it'll come to me in a minute. But he was, it's one of these sort of break out of your own box type videos. Yeah. And he was playing with this guy who was showing him that you could play over an E minor blues progression. You could play an E minor solo. You could also play it in B, and you could also play an F sharp, and it progressively got further away from the root note, got more and more jazzy, but each one of them worked, and you could always resolve it back to that root note, but you had to know, and it worked because all of the same notes were in it, except that you had one that was a sharp and then one that was a step down. And it was just really fascinating watching this guy who's a really good guitarist just go, the sort of his eyes lighting up as it just unlocked this kind of whole new set of notes he could use over a solo. Which I thought was, I like that. I find really fascinating, that kind of moment where you go, yeah, okay, I get that, and I can see how that really works. Rather than 10 years ago when somebody handed me a book that said, here's how you do modes. Like, has what now? Aeolian, Phrygian, and oh god, no, hang on, why?
I absolutely live for that shit, so you
and I need to talk more.
I'm all about that shit. I'd happily bore you to death with all manner of modes and some theoretical nerdiness. But that is not for this cast. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole.
That's a whole other podcast.
Indeed. Yeah, I might do like a theory-based podcast, which will get the least viewing figures that we ever had. Well, you'll get like people listening for the first 5 minutes and going, "Fuck this." But yeah, I think it's about time we swing it onto our big reason to be here, which is our collaboration competition.
Yes.
So what's it all about? What's happening with that? Because you've very much been spearheading this one. We've been bouncing ideas back and forth, but you are definitely the kind of the motivation behind this one. So let us know what it's about.
Okay, so basic enough, quite a popular topic on kind of competitions around guitar is we want to hear your solos.
Yeah.
The idea is we've made a little backing track which is exactly a minute long, so it's Instagram friendly.
Yeah.
And we want to hear what you can do over it. It's basically dad rock type backing track. And the idea is we want to hear your solos, but we want to hear interesting pedals with your solos.
Yeah.
So the concept is it's a dad solo, bit of rock and roll, but somewhere in that solo there needs to be an interesting pedal, one that's got a story behind it, one that's your favourite pedal for some reason, one that you borrowed off your mate just for the occasion. And as these things go, best solo in our eyes, totally subjective, will win something. That something is yet to be defined, but it will be guitar related and probably pedals.
Yeah. So we've kind of batted back and forth ideas about what we're gonna give, and it's pretty much there's gonna be a pedal giveaway, if not multiple pedal giveaways. But swinging back to the kind of criteria in which we're going to judge as well, we had a little bit of an in-depth chat about that, and how it's not like the fastest solo that's going to win, or it's not the most technically proficient solo that's going to win. It's going to be the most interesting solo in terms of how you are going to utilize that really awesome effect, how you're going to utilize your sound essentially. And it's about kind of hearing you guys play as well. So it's definitely not a wank fest where million notes a second's gonna take the top spot.
Hey, if they're using a Miku pedal, it might do.
There you go. There's your little bit of insider info. So
yeah, I mean it's about, because there's loads of these competitions, the riff competitions and fast solos, and I'm not a speed player. I'm not interested in speed players. If you can do it, great. I more power to you. I can't do it because I never had the discipline to learn it.
Yeah.
But it's musicality. It's interesting. It's how you use the pedal. So if you're just going to stick a wah pedal on it and waggle that away whilst you, as you say, wank over the guitar, you're probably not going to win this one.
Yeah.
If you play a really interesting backwards solo using all kinds of echoes, delays, and phases, and it sounds musical interesting, you might get, it might pique our attention a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
If it just comes down to you've got a beautiful overdrive pedal that you stack into an amazing Fender front end, and you play something that just sings to us, brilliant. You know, that's what we're looking for. It's how you're using those effects. And you say it's expressing yourself. So if you're not a technically proficient player, then there's still a place for you to enter if you can do something that is interesting and melodic and musical, and has something fun happening.
Yeah,
you know,
work to your strengths.
Available to everyone.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's got to be available to everyone, because you know, I'm not a technically proficient guitarist. You've heard me play. I think everyone's heard me play now. So you know, we all play what we can play, and it's an idea. The idea is showcase yourself and something interesting, and tell us what the interesting pedal is and why it's interesting. You know, is it something you inherited from somebody? Is it a guitar pedal you've built yourself? There's one for Joe. Or Simon, actually.
Yeah, by all means,
you know,
guys.
Is it something that you?
Yeah, they can enter this.
Absolutely, get involved. Yeah. I've finally convinced Simon to make me that Octo Fuzz. You know, it's just because we want to hear interesting things. We both like interesting pedals. I mean, some of the stuff that we've both been doing with the more bespoke pedals. Yeah. There's some great stuff out there that isn't expensive. So, you know, use it as an opportunity to go and look for something fun on eBay, because, you know, you can find down the bottom end of eBay on the £20-30 marks, you can find some really fascinating pedals. Yeah.
As a slight disclaimer to that, we will not be taking responsibility for jilted other halves who are saying, no, the podcast told us to do it.
Hey, you might win more pedals you can eBay afterwards, but you know.
So there you go. And as a kind of bonus to this competition, we're gonna run a little kind of recruitment drive for our channels. So if my YouTube channel reaches 100 subscribers by the time that this competition ends, then I will throw another pedal into the mix where we potentially get multiple winners. And yourself, your next one is the 300 mark. Is it for the YouTube?
Yeah, that's my next sort of aim for YouTube's 300 subscribers. So if I can get 300 subscribers, I will throw a pedal of some description into the mix. As you say, it means that we can either have multiple winners, or we end up with somebody who gets a pretty reasonable load of pedal. Because I mean, we've both got stuff that we've reviewed and things that we've got lying around and things that you know, I might do a bit of a whip round and see who I can push for stuff as well. So we'll see what we can get in there. And what we'll do is we'll drip feed some of the prizes as we get them, and as we sort of work out what we're going to do with it. We'll drip feed them over our Instagrams, just so you guys can see what we're winning. Because it's got to be worth your while spending 1 minute of your time recording a solo.
That's it. But as I have found out, this 1 minute of guitar solo does not just take 1 minute. I've given it a couple of goes myself, and I will be getting a kind of an example solo up on my YouTube or on my Instagram eventually when I can find a solo that I'm happy with.
Yeah, I'll do the same as well. I know what you mean. I thought it was a nice, easy chord progression, but trying to break out of generic blues is really difficult with it. I think it's the other interesting thing is that it's not a difficult bit of music, so doing something interesting with it might be you might need to add an extra bit of, you know, if you're clever with your recording, you might want to add a bit of something extra on top of it to give it some more flavor. You know, if you play saxophone, throw it in there. It's the guitar we're looking for. But
so those are your kind of rules for it. The competition will start when this is out, which will probably be the 1st, so this will probably be released on the 1st of November. And it will run
which is in about 2 hours' time.
Indeed. Yep. I mean, so you're giving a little bit of an insight as to how quickly we're getting this one turned around. We don't usually leave it this late, but you know, life is sometimes.
Life. I've been tough to nail down recently.
Exactly the same for me. I mean, I've been busy as balls. It's like waiting for the planets to align, isn't it? So 1st of November
we'll put the official rules down on how you're going to enter, what you got to do actually on the the text around your podcast. We'll put it onto Instagram as well, rather than trying to get people to do it and remember it from what we say here.
Yeah. I mean, we'll be advertising it somewhat on our Instagrams and YouTubes anyway. So we'll get that. We'll make it abundantly clear how you enter. So yeah, it will run from the moment that the podcast comes out up until I think the 1st of December. I think that's when we're going to close the competition, and then we're going to do a follow-up interview kind of collaboration again, where we discuss some of the entries and choose our winner.
Yep.
Or winners.
Yes. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to hearing what you guys are going to do for us.
Yep. Yeah, me too as well. I'm really looking forward to listening to some of these interesting and awesome melodic solos. If it does get a little bit wanky, so be it. But just if Ingve is entering this competition, he probably ain't going to win.
No, not unless using a decent whammy pedal or something just to throw some flavour in there.
Yeah, that's it. So for the
Tom Morello, if you're listening.
That's it. Yeah, I mean he's got a chance. He probably doesn't need one of our pedals though. Who knows?
You mean he doesn't want a Donner Octaver?
Ooh, spoilers. So I would also like to extend to our Fret Talk listeners that this is going to be these two podcasts are going to be the end of the season 2 of the interviews of this season of interview series. I'm going to have a little bit of a hiatus and come back with the newest season of the interviews, season 3. Sometime in the new year. Then after that, so I'm gonna have the Christmas break off for the interviews. So it kind of works as a kind of a punctuation to the interview series as well. And what a way to end it off as well.
I've never been called punctuation before, but I'll take it.
There we go. So the standard things apply. If you want to catch me, you go onto YouTube, you type in Budget Pedal Chap, you go facebook.com/Budget Pedal Chap, you go instagram.com/Budget Pedal Chap. Mr. Anjay, do you want to tell people where they find you?
Easiest way to find me, because my name's a pain in the arse to spell, is just hit Instagram and go to instagram.com/DaveRage, and you'll find everything you need to know from there, because sadly, I need to change my name to something easier to spell on YouTube at some point. Unless you can spell Andrzej Marchewski, you know.
There you go.
If you just happen to know that off the top of your head, look for Andrzej Marchewski and I'm around somewhere.
That's it. YouTube links, do you have those on your Instagram linking back to your YouTube? Or is...
Yeah, my Instagram bio link always links back to my last review. So
okay, fantastic. So yeah, that's an easy way to get onto the YouTube as well. So yeah, definitely check it out and keep your eyes and ears peeled, because the competition will be landing very, very shortly. So yeah, we look forward to hearing some of those. So from myself, Mr. Budget Pedal Chap, from Anjay from DaveRage Instagram channel, it will be a goodbye and a good night for this week.
Goodbye.
Taffy bye. This is where the outro music comes in.